Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another episode of what's on my makeup wish list. This is probably going to be the last one for the year of 2021. So I'm going to move over and I'll pop up the pictures here on the screen next to me. This is pretty much stuff that has come out recently that is interesting to me. Some of these things have come out for ages, but I wanted to talk about them with you guys today because they had sparked my interest. I don't talk about things that I'm not interested in, and also I don't actually buy all these things on like the wish list. If I do buy anything, you'll see it in a haul in future. But I kind of have a bit of a theme to today's video. It's Australian themed for like the first half. So a lot of the products I'm going to be talking about in the first half of this video are Australian related products because, as you may know, I am an Australian. So first of all, there is this Australian kind of indie brand or small business called Glamonatrix, and there are two palettes from this brand which are really interesting to me. The first one is the U Beauty palette. The U Beauty palette looks really, really pretty. They have some really interesting, I think, multi-chrome shades in there. Just a really stunning looking palette based on the Australian colour scheme. So the colour scheme of this palette is based on like Australian colours, if that makes sense. The colour of the landscape, the colour of, you know, the Australian wildlife and like surroundings and stuff like that. And then the other palette that I'm interested in from Glamonatrix is the Silent Night palette, which is a really beautiful, almost jewel toned palette, I'd say, with some really beautiful Christmas themed shades. So also the U Beauty palette that I was talking about earlier, that is a like palette with all the shade names based on like Australian related things. So the U Beauty, like something that's really Australian to say is like U Beauty. So the Australian like aspects of this palette isn't just like the colors, it's also in like the shade names, the names of the palette. I really love the way they did this. And then the Silent Night palette is really cute. It's like all Christmas themed colors and like all the shade names are Christmas themed. Also, Silent Night is one of my favorite Christmas carols. Okay, this is like an irrelevant story, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. So when I was in kindergarten, my kindergarten class sung Silent Night for all the mums and dads, and I sat in the front row of like my class's choir, and I wore a sparkly white dress. It was like a loose angel kind of dress with like stars on it, and I felt so cute, and I loved the song Silent Night ever since because it reminded me of like being in kindergarten and singing for all the mums and dads, and feeling really cute in my little white dress. So I love all the colors in the Silent Night palette. I just think it's a really well curated palette, and also I've heard really good things about the Glamonatrix quality, and also the the tones of the palette are really well curated. Like, I really like the jewel tones. I really would like to try the multi-chromes. Now, these palettes are always out of stock. That's the thing with Glamonatrix, is it's a very popular small business. Like, because they're an indie brand, they probably can't keep up with the amount of demand they're receiving. And so, yeah, I just haven't been able to catch it when it's in stock. But I'm hoping to maybe one day try out their formula. And I'm definitely excited to see what this company comes out with in future because their palettes are really, really beautiful, and I'm keen to see what's next. Okay, there's another Australian business that I wanted to talk about, and it's Geology Cosmetics. Now, this is the Pilbara palette they came out with, and this is a really, really cool. So this concept is, it's another Australian small business, and they're like another indie makeup brand. This Pilbara palette is based on the colours of the Australian Pilbara. So the Pilbara is an area here in Australia, and the Pilbara palette is based on the Pilbara's colour scheme. Based on the Pilbara's colour scheme. I'm like stumbling over my words. But the Pilbara, if you know, is a really unique area of Australia. It has a very unique colour story. It doesn't look like just any old like nature area. It's very unique, like a lot of the Australian landscape is. And so this is a really cool palette because it really captures the colours of the Australian Pilbara. And I also like that this kind of makeup brand is like rooted in like geology roots, if that makes sense. Like this is made by someone who is like passionate about like science and geology and things like that. So it's a really cool concept behind the brand, and so I'm excited to see what they come out with next because they have this like geology or like science based background to the makeup. I love it when people combine like science and art. I just think it's a really fun combo, and this palette looks really interesting to me. I also like that the actual pans are like triangular, and the arrangement of the palette I think is really creative, and it's a little bit different. I found this Australian makeup brand through Angie here on YouTube. She's a YouTuber that I follow, and she did a really good review of this palette, and she really liked it. And yeah, I'm just excited to try it out one day, hopefully, because also with these Australian brands, because they're Australian businesses, they're available really easily here in Australia. Like, a lot of the time when I'm purchasing makeup, I'm ordering it from overseas, like it's coming all the way from America, and it takes a while to come, and I have to pay a bit in postage, or I have to buy quite a fair bit to make free postage. Whereas these things, because they're in Australia, they're probably a lot more affordable for me to get my hands on. So definitely interested in those Australian small businesses. I also have some things that are Australian location related, but not from Australian businesses. So the first one is Way. They're kind of like a hair care brand, and they have a lot of hair care products that are in this scent called North Bondi. So as you may know, Bondi is a beach here in Australia, and I'm really interested in the scent North Bondi because I go to Bondi Beach a lot, and so I want to know what North Bondi smells like to Way. I don't know, it's just an interesting concept. So I really want to try their North Bondi candle. I'm really into candles at the moment. I literally have been burning candles all the time. This was one that I was burning earlier, but I just blew out. And yeah, this is the peppermint sugar cookie candle from Bath and Body Works. I've been really enjoying burning candles recently. This one's really nice. Yum. Anyway, I really want to get more candles though, and I think that the Way North Bondi candle, it first of all looks stunning, like the actual packaging and like just like the aesthetics of the candle are stunning, but also I'm excited to try that kind of smell. I think it'd be like an interesting scent. All the notes, I can't remember all the notes off the top of my head, but the notes of the candle or the North Bondi scent seem appealing to me. So I am interested to give it a sniff and see if I like it. And then the other thing that is Australian location based is from Tower 28. I really want to try their cream bronzer in the shade Gold Coast. Now, when I was looking at stuff from Tower 28, I don't know, the blushes, none of them really spoke to me. I don't know, none of them were really like making me feel a certain way. But when I saw a review, I can't remember who reviewed it. It was like someone's makeup collection video ages ago. I saw someone pick up this bronzer from Tower 28, and they were talking about how like perfect the shade was as like a golden bronze, and it just looked like such a beautiful shade. And then they said it was in the shade Gold Coast, and I was like, I go to the Gold Coast. I don't know, just when places are named, like when like shade names are named after Australian locations, I'm like, I'm Australian, I should get that product. I wouldn't get something if it wasn't like a shade that suited my skin tone, but this shade looked so perfect for my skin tone. It's like a golden bronze. It's less of like a contouring shade, more of like a bronzing shade. And also, I haven't tried anything from Tower 28 before. And I don't know, their formula seems really unique and interesting and different to other things that I have in my collection. I do have some like cream contours and like cream bronzers, but nothing so warm as this. So it'd be interesting and like different to try a warmer toned cream bronzer. But yeah, that is something from Tower 28 that like was interesting to me recently. This isn't a new purchase, like a new release from them. Most of the things that I've mentioned so far are not like newer releases, but the things that I kind of have been like looking at recently and thinking they were pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is, I'm no longer in the Australian section of this video, by the way. We're into the normal like new releases. This is a new release that was interesting to me. It's the Essence Cosmetics collaborated with Catrice, and they collaborated with the Disney princesses. So all three of these guys collabed, and this is round 2 of their collab. They did a collab earlier, and they had this really, really cute, so they have like, you know, Disney princesses in each of these like collabs, and they had this really cute Essence Little Mermaid Ariel palette, but it was only available in Europe, and I was so devo. It might have been available in America too, actually. I'm not too sure. But the moral of the story was it wasn't available in Australia, and so I wasn't able to get my hands on this really, really beautiful, like neutral tone, like really good formula. Apparently, I heard really good reviews about it. Little Mermaid palette, and if you know me, I'm a big fan of the Little Mermaid, and so I was really devastated that that wasn't available in Australia. But they have come out with round 2, and I believe this time Catrice Cosmetics is doing the Little Mermaid. I'm not too sure. I'll stick in pictures here and you'll see the things that you can see here that are Little Mermaid. I want them, but I feel like they're not going to come to Australia. I don't know, just because the first release didn't come, like the wave 1 of their collaboration didn't come to Australia, why would wave 2 come here? And also Catrice is even harder to find here than Essence. Here in Australia, Essence is available at Priceline, but I literally can't remember the last time I saw Catrice in an Australian store. Maybe in Mecca, but like that was so long ago that I saw that. So yeah, I feel like I'm not going to be able to get my hands on this, which is kind of sad because I'm a Little Mermaid stan and I love like Little Mermaid everything. There's like a box up there you won't be able to see, but there's like a bunch of the Makeup Revolution Little Mermaid collaboration. Anytime anyone slaps Little Mermaid on something, I want to buy it because I just love I love the Little Mermaid so much. So yeah, I wish I could get that. I probably won't be able to. Anyway, something new that I probably will be able to get my hands on is from Fenty Beauty, and this is the new liquid highlights. So these liquid highlights are in like 5 shades. 3 of them I think would work on my skin tone. 2 of them are too dark for my skin tone. I could probably use them as like a body bronzer or something, but they're just not meant for my skin tone. So someone of a darker skin tone, I think they would be, like they are pretty shades, they just wouldn't work for me. So someone of a darker skin tone, they would look so stunning on them. But the 3 shades that I could pull off. I'm going to talk about those. So the first one is the lightest shade, and it is Side Chick, and I believe this is like an ivory white shade with like a slight gold reflect through it. It looks to be more of like an iridescent pearlescent kind of shade, and a lot of the times those shades kind of can look a little icy or can look a little like, I don't know, too cool for my skin tone. I'm not sure about this one. I will be getting like little samples or like trying these out sometime, because like swatching them on my hand or something, because I am really interested in these. But the shade Side Chick is probably going to be too light for me, but I will try it out. The other shade that is interesting is Vintage Velour, so that's the pinky shade. Now, if you know me though, typically I go for a champagne or a golden highlight, so although I can pull off like a light pinky highlight, it sometimes just looks a little odd on my skin tone, just because I do have like that yellowy undertone, being half Asian, so a lot of the time yellowy undertoned like highlighters and stuff just look a little bit more natural on my skin tone, and I prefer the way they look on me. So the one that I think I would feel the best in is Hustler Baby 2.0. Now, if you know me, Hustler Baby, the original highlight in the Kilowatt Foil formula, was one of my favorite highlights I've ever had. I had it in a mini size and I used up the whole thing. I panned it, it's gone, I miss it, but it was very, very good. But unfortunately, Fenty Beauty only has Hustler Baby out in the Kilowatt Foil as a half pan. So I'll show you what I mean. So they have these like split pans in the Kilowatt Foil, and so one side is like it'd like be the Hustler Baby original shade on one side, and then there's another shade on the other side. And it's kind of a waste for me, because I only want the Hustler Baby shade. This is not Hustler Baby, this is like another, I'm just using this as an example, but I only want to use the Hustler Baby side. I don't like, well, I don't dislike, but I don't really need the other highlighter it comes with, so I don't want to buy the whole compact just for that Hustler Baby shade. So it's kind of cool that they've released Hustler Baby in Hustler Baby 2.0 in the new liquid highlight formula, because I feel like that would be the perfect one for my skin tone. I'm also interested to see what the formula is like from Fenty Beauty, because you know, there are lots of different ways you could take a liquid highlight. It could be a really pigmented formula, more like the Cover FX drops, or this could be a more sheer formula, more like the strobe cream from MAC, or a bit more like the Becca Luminous Skin like the liquid highlight that Becca used to have. So I'm interested to see how intense or sheer this really is on the skin, if it's more of like a melting into the skin kind of finish, if it's dewy, or if it dries down. I don't know. I'm excited to try them out, and I think it's a fun thing, and definitely on brand for Fenty Beauty to come out with those. I think it suits the other products they have in their range so far, and it's definitely something that's going to be a popular product from them, I reckon. I don't know, I'm interested to try it out, and I think the shades that they came out with, they had a good range. Like the 3 shades that I talked about, you know, cover a lot of like lighter skin tones, and then the 2 darker shades are really beautiful, like more bronzy tones, and I think those would look really good on darker skin tones. And also, if you have a darker skin tone, a lot of the time you can pull off like a lighter highlight, especially because it is like the bright part. So yeah, I feel like they have a pretty good shade range. Fenty Beauty usually does. Something else I want to talk about from Fenty Beauty is the new Heat gloss bomb in the shade Lemon Lava. Now, if you know me, I love a golden lip gloss. I just think it's so like stunning. I love like a goldy champagne tone on myself. One of my favorite lip glosses of all time is the Desi and Katie collaboration that they used to do. Oh, what is the shade? Wait, let me find it. I have it next to me. What are you called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Over the Top. How could I forget? This is like literally my holy grail lip gloss. But I feel like Lemon Lava is going to be a plumping version of Over the Top. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be more similar to Trophy Wife. I also have the Trophy Wife lip gloss from Fenty Beauty, and I really like this as well. It's just a golden highlight. And I feel like the Lemon Lava shade just looks appealing to me. I do quite like the Heat formula from Fenty Beauty. It's not my favorite formula from them. My favorite formula from them is probably just their original formula, but I am interested in Lemon Lava. It is a shade that is speaking to me more than some of their other shades, and so probably one that I'll eventually pick up just because I love Fenty lip glosses. I'm looking beside me and I can literally see like 9, like 10. Okay, there are 10 Fenty lip glosses next to me. I love them a lot and I get a lot of use out of them. So Lemon Lava is welcome to join my Fenty Beauty gloss bomb family anytime. Okay, another thing that I want to talk about from a more indie or like small business is this. Okay, I saw this on Instagram and it's a rainbow multi-chrome eyeshadow. The brand or company is called Electrum Cosmetics, and I discovered them on Instagram because Instagram knows that I love multi-chrome shadows and duochrome shadows, and they kept showing me this multi-chrome shadows from this like brand Electrum Cosmetics, and they looked beautiful, and I was obsessed with them because they're rainbow. So I'm always on the hunt for like the most beautiful rainbow multi-chrome, and a lot of the time when I see a multi-chrome, it's not actually a true rainbow. It's like is like more earring to one side of the rainbow or something, if that makes sense. So it'll be it's like rainbow multi-chrome, but it's actually just like a bluer multi-chrome rather than being like a true rainbow, or like it has blue with like a green purple flip, and it's like not really encompassing the true rainbow. It only has like a tiny bit of like pink in it or something, and it doesn't have like the gold and the green in there as much as I want. These multi-chrome eyeshadows that are rainbow are like truly rainbow. In all the swatches I've seen, they look like actually rainbow eyeshadows, and I just think that'd be such like a cool, unique eyeshadow to have. I've always searched for like one eyeshadow that has all the colors of the rainbow in it. It's just such a cool concept, and I just feel like it's really exciting that brands are coming out with more and more creative like makeup and like more and more creative concepts for their shades and stuff. I just really would like a rainbow multi-chrome. It's my dream. So I'm hoping that this fulfills my rainbow multi-chrome dream. They have two shades that they recommended to me, because I've said, so that I commented on one of their posts. I was like, which is the most rainbowiest multi-chrome you guys sell? And they recommended two shades. They said their favorites were the shades Conjure and Clairvoyant. So I'll pop those on the screen. They do look very rainbow, and the swatches look stunning. The swatches on this Instagram look absolutely nuts, and everyone in the comments seems to be really positive about the brand. Like everyone seems to be like, I love you guys, can't wait for your next drop, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's not too expensive for me to get my hands on those. I don't really mind paying a higher price for an indie brand like this, like a small business. I'm just more concerned about how much it's going to cost shipping it to Australia, because, you know, it's one thing just to buy the product, but to also pay for postage all the way to Australia as well. I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely keeping my eye on Electrum Cosmetics. Definitely a brand that I'm interested in. Okay, something else I want to talk about from the opposite of an indie brand is Colourpop. Everyone knows Colourpop. I feel like every time I do one of these videos, I talk about a Colourpop release. Sorry if the camera angle changed, my phone cut out. But anyway, so I was talking about Colourpop. Yeah, they always are releasing new stuff, and every time I come to you guys with a video, I'm always talking about new Colourpop releases. Something they've come out with recently that's interested me is again from their Zodiac collection, and it is the Zodiac Lip Glosses. Now, I previously did a whole video on the Zodiac eyeshadow because I got the one that is of my month. So I'm a Leo, and I got the Big Leo Energy eyeshadow palette little quad, and it was actually really good quality. I really liked the color scheme of that little eyeshadow, and I did a little tutorial get ready with me in it, and I just loved the shades that they chose for that, and all the shade names and like the color schemes for each zodiac sign. I think they did a good job, and they came out with lip glosses kind of to match and like go with the success of those like little quads that they sold. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to make a Colourpop order just to buy the lip gloss, but if I was already making an order on Colourpop and I needed to make free shipping to Australia, I would add it into my cart if I needed something extra to make free shipping. I hope that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it, but if I needed something extra to, you know, make free shipping, I'd rather buy that lip gloss than pay for shipping. The shade that they chose for Leo, which is my zodiac sign, is called Living Legend, which I feel like very much suits like Leo vibes. Like Leos are very much like living legend energy, and so I do think that suits like the star sign. And I also think that the shade that they chose was a really pretty shade as well for Leo. All of the shades look really pretty, but obviously they have different shades depending on each star sign, and I felt like the Leo shade, it could have been a little, I would have chosen like a slightly brighter shade, to be honest, just because Leos can be so like bright and bold. But I do like that they chose like kind of like a nudier shade. It's kind of like a darker nude for my skin tone personally. I think it's a really pretty shade, and I'm glad they chose a warm tone shade because I like a warm toned gloss. But yeah, I do think it's a really pretty shade, just not something that I'm like desperate to get my hands on. If it's around and it's in stock next time I'm making a Colourpop order, I'll probably just tuck it in. And then the next thing I want to talk about is from Too Faced. Too Faced is a brand that I mainly collect the little mini palettes and little like tin palettes, if that makes sense, like the ones like the chocolate bar palettes, you know, the gingerbread ones, the mini sized ones. And they recently came out with a new mini palette called the Major Love palette, which is based on like a camo kind of color scheme. You know, Major Love, so it's like kind of like army kind of colors. So inside the palette it's got like some camo colors, so it's like green tones, neutrals, but also it's interesting because it's Major Love. There's like a love heart on the front of the packaging, which I think is really cute, but on the inside there's a pop of pink. So I do think it's a really interesting color scheme that they combined those camo color story, the color story, with the pop of pink. I just think it's like unique. I am interested in what this smells like, however, because I only buy these Too Faced palettes if they smell good to me. And what does Major Love smell like? I don't know. I felt like some of the palettes they came out with last year, some of the minis, like the Light My Fire, I believe it was called, and stuff. They didn't have incredible smells to me. I prefer the smells that they've come out with the palettes that they've released around holiday time. I'm just bringing some out. Like these 2 palettes they came out with this year. I feel like these have better scents. Like, for example, it's really obvious what Christmas coffee is going to smell like. It's going to smell like coffee. A little bit Christmassy. Like, this makes sense. Whereas I don't really know in my head what Major Love is going to smell like. You know, fruitcake. It's going to smell like fruitcake. Actually, it was like quite nice. But yeah, I'm just not sure what Major Love is going to smell like, so I'm unsure if I'm going to pick that up. If it's really cute and I like the way it looks in person, it swatches nicely and it smells nice, I will probably pick it up though, because it is cute. I really wish they brought the like Valentine's Day mini palette that they released last year to Australia. They never did. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called the Be My Lover palette. It was really, really cute, and I think it was rose scented, but for some reason that never came to Mecca, which is the Australian stocker for Too Faced products. So that was a tragedy, but I got over it. But if I ever saw that in stores, I would definitely buy it. The last thing I want to talk about today is from Spectrum Cosmetics, and they released another Emily in Paris collection. So previously, Emily in Paris, which is a Netflix show, they collaborated with Lancome, which kind of makes sense because Lancome, I think, is in partnership with Lily Collins, the actor for Emily on the show. And they've now collaborated with Spectrum Cosmetics, which is interesting because like, I don't know, they've already collaborated with another brand, but yeah, they've collaborated with Spectrum Cosmetics, and they've come out with like quite a cute, like vintagey themed looking collection. I think it's really cute, the color story they used with like the green tones. I just feel like it gives me like very Lauderay, macaroons, French patisserie store kind of vibes. I think it's a very cutesy collection. I haven't tried anything from Spectrum Cosmetics before, but the thing that piqued my interest most out of this collaboration was the brushes that they did. They're just really cute looking brushes. Will I get anything from this collaboration? Probably not, but I did want to mention it because my boyfriend and I have been watching Emily in Paris because I am Emily and I want to be in Paris. I just want to be in Paris. Season 2 of that like Netflix show just dropped recently, and so we've been watching that together, and yeah, I just wish I was in Paris and that COVID wasn't around to stop me from traveling. But yeah, that is the last little makeup release that I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you interested in any of these products? Have you tried any of these products? Some of these are like older releases, so if you've tried any of them, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You can subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I upload literally like all the time. And there are loads of other videos like this on my channel already if you want to check out previous like wish list, what's on my makeup wish list kind of videos. You can find me on all my socials. I'm Emily Titch or Emily Titch 20 everywhere, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye!